Coach, obviously a close one tonight. What did you see as the difference down the stretch there?
They hit some timely shots. I think we did everything. Our guys did everything we've asked of them to do. Played with poise, played with pace. Did not get discouraged when they went up, got a lead. Fought back, battled back, and they made some big-time, timely shots down the stretch. Tough shots. And, you know, that's what we talked about those guys being able to do. But our guys battled. They competed the entire night and did not get discouraged.
On that turnover near the sidelines by the Clippers bench with about 20 seconds left before Paul George hit the shot, did you consider challenging that there? It was kind of like a 50-50.
Yes, I did. I did consider challenging it. And then I looked back and realized that we had one timeout left. And if I don't win that challenge, then I don't get my timeout, and then we don't have time to execute an end-of-game play. Now, I understand our guys do know certain situations of what we will run there. But if you lose that timeout, you don't give yourself an opportunity to get a shot at the last second.
Obviously, games don't come down solely to those last couple of minutes. But what did you see on the last couple of possessions, and then how do you kind of make sure that you're not kind of forcing things or committing turnovers on those late possessions?
Our level of concentration. I think being able to just make sure we're strong with it at the end of the day. I think our guys understand how they were going to play, the physicality of the game. We got it. I think we met their physicality. Again, they hit some very, very tough shots, and that's who they are, and we have guys that do that. Now, we did the same thing. You know, they happen to make some down the stretch in that late game.
Turnovers have been a kind of creeping problem throughout the year. You know, 17 turnovers. Clippers scored a fair amount on that. What needs to be cleaned up on some of those miscues overall?
I just think continue to take what the game gives you, reading where the defense is, guys recognizing, you know, the spacing in certain situations in certain areas. Now they're a team that is going to go after the ball each and every single time, no matter what. And, you know, they had a couple where they're, you know, running through bodies in order to get the ball. So just being smart with it, being more, you know, intentional in our movement.
I know you decided to roll with Moe right there in the fourth quarter. Obviously, he put together a great quarter. I think it was like 10 straight to begin, you know, but we didn't see Wendell in the fourth. It's been a rough couple of games for him as of lately on the offensive side. You know, where have you kind of seen his struggles coming from, and, you know, where do you want him to fix that moving forward?
Well, you got to realize that each one of these games that you're saying he hasn't finished, there's been a group of guys that have had a flow. And, you know, one thing you don't want to do in these situations is mess up the rhythm and the flow of the guys playing in that situation. You said Moe scored 10 straight. So as that rhythm was going and we need to score the ball, and that group had it going, you stick with the group that's going. And I think our guys do a great job of understanding and encouraging each other for the ones that have it going, that they stay on the floor and keep us where we're supposed to be.
Coach Guido Padilla, Filtro 360. These last two games has been, you really look at it, it's a play of atmosphere. You haven't been able to close the game, but you outplay hard, definitely be there when it counts the most. What do you think, because when it comes to the playoffs, you would need to have the big plays from the big players. How do you think you can manage that in order to be successful in the playoffs?
Well, these situations and these games are preparing you for that. So understanding how teams are playing you, if they're switching, if they're not switching, if they're in coverages. And our guys recognize it. Being able to attack the basket the way we want to, getting the looks that we need in these situations, being able to evaluate that in these last three games is something that we'll continue to do.
Coach, how much is this loss in the two previous ones a part of the growing of this team? Is this just growing pains, or is this, you know, something else?
It's always growth. I think it's always growth. It's always figuring out ways to battle in these situations. You cannot film these situations from a different team. You have to go through it and help continue to understand exactly what it is we need to do in all of these scenarios. We've been in them each and every single game. I mean, you talk about the difference in the challenge in Sacramento versus the challenge tonight. You've been in those scenarios. So if you do it and coming back to the Sacramento game, it wouldn't have been overturned, and you lose the timeout. So similar to the situation, if it's not overturned, you lose the timeout. So that's learning growth from our side as coaches, as well as players, recognizing what we need to do in these games.
Kind of building on that, you know, on a 3-game losing streak now, how important is it to come back out tomorrow night and get a win and finish this homestand strong with the road ahead?
It's big. We've got to come out with a high level of energy, intensity, and our crowd being into it the way they were tonight, being focused, and again, focusing on the game plan, shaking this one off and not letting it linger, and move on to tomorrow night, because that's a game that we've got to make sure we're focused and poised to come out and get. Thank you, guys.
Oh, obviously a close one tonight. What did you see as the difference down the stretch?
I think they got some timely, tough buckets. We had some timely turnovers, and yeah, they scored more points than us. Sometimes it goes like that.
Mo, what can you take away from this 3-game losing streak? I mean, you've said before, like, it doesn't take losses or wins to learn. You're always learning. But what can you take away from this streak at this point in the season?
I always say this. I don't think in streaks. I don't like that at all because you tend to think in wins and losses. I think we're playing really good basketball. We won 3 now. We lost 3 now in a row now. But again, I'm not like that's not how we should think. We've been working really hard all year. I think there's a general confidence in this group that if we control the things we can control, we're going to win a lot of basketball games, and also the awareness that this is a game and sometimes stuff doesn't go your way. Yeah, so I think the beautiful thing is we're going to show up tomorrow again and going to play the same way, going to play hard and hope for a different result.
Mo, obviously, margin for error, these last 3 games has been really small. You've been within a couple points late into the fourth quarter. How big is that moving forward? Regardless of the team you're playing, as you've been playing really good teams these last 3 games, but regardless of the team you're playing, the margin of error factor.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, we missed free throws. We had some timely turnovers. At the end of the day, kind of like those plays when you win a game, especially if you figure out to be in those ball games at the end. So yeah, I mean it hurts, but again, it's not gonna change my confidence level in this group. We've been kind of even keeled all year, and I'm gonna continue to do that. And I'm excited to go to work tomorrow with the same group.
You've kind of mentioned it a few times, the composure and poise that you guys have and the confidence you have. How important was that throughout the game when it felt like LA might pull away as you guys tried to get back into the game?
Well, I mean, if you're trying to go somewhere, you better figure it out at some point. You gotta keep your emotions in check. You gotta take the bad stuff and learn from it, but don't carry it around. Keep your swag, and then make plays at the end. And we're a young team; we're still learning that. But I mean, I think we're the 5 seed. We want to win some games in the playoffs. We want to go somewhere. Yeah, you better figure it out. So that's kind of where we are. And again, I'm excited to continue to learn with this group.
Well, these are very mature answers for you and for the team that's lost 3 disappointing, tough games. And you say that you kind of take it day by day. What does those actions look like to make those words come true? How do you see that with your team and take this one day at a time?
Well, it's not entirely true because I said the same thing when we had a 9-game winning streak and everybody was, we were like the sweet darling on social media and everything was cool. So it's like the same thing, we staying the course, kind of don't listen to the outside noise. We got to improve. It doesn't matter if we win or lose, it's a game. Some things you don't control if you make shots or not. Those buckets at the end are tough contested buckets. Sometimes it doesn't go your way. But if I, as a competitor, focus all my work on the result, I'm not going to go very far. I'm going to be caught up in my emotions. And as an emotional player, as an emotional human being, I'm not going to be sleeping a lot if I do that. So that's why I say these things, because I think we work on that as a unit. And again, we're trying to go somewhere. We're not trying to create streaks. And that's why I'm viewing it like that.
Had an unbelievable season this year as a team. You guys turned around Orlando Magic basketball. Mm-hmm. There's only 9 games left. What type of adjustment do you think do you guys need to do in these 9 games so you guys could be ready for the first round playoffs against probably the New York Knicks?
Hold on. I mean, we don't know who we're going to play. I think that's not where our focus is. We got to get better. The good teams figure out a way to get better towards the end of the season. I think we've played very tough all season long, but not a lot of people in this squad have been in the playoffs, so it's a new experience for us. And I think we kind of we gotta turn our standard up a little bit and play really tough nose basketball every possession, regardless of the score. And kind of have that swag too that we're a playoff team. You gotta kind of wear that on your chest a little bit. It's not by accident we're here. Even though we lose a couple games, it's okay. We'll be back, and I think if we do that as a group, we'll be fine.
Thanks, Mo.
Beautiful.
Paolo, obviously a close one tonight. What did you see as the difference down the stretch there?
I think just execution, turnovers.
On some of those turnovers, I mean, what would you explain them how as? Like, is it just lack of focus late in the game? Is it something the Clippers were doing, or is it a combination of different things that just lead to those turnovers in timely moments?
I mean, yeah, I think they defended well, but at the end of the day, you can't just give them the ball. Obviously, it was me at the late, in the late game, turning it over, and yeah, I mean, you just gotta be better than that.
Had 3 straight losses now that have come down to those final minutes. What is the biggest thing that you and the team can learn from these situations against these kinds of teams as the season comes to a close and the playoffs are on the horizon?
I think the biggest thing we can learn is that we gotta be able to close out better. Like you said, they all been close games, so just gotta find a way to win.
How did that third quarter help you maybe get going after a slow first half, scoring-wise at least?
Yeah, I was able to get going, play some defense, get some dunks and stuff. But I just gotta be better overall in all aspects. Gotta find a way to start games better. I don't like how I'm playing right now, so just gotta work on it.
Paolo obviously played 3 playoff teams the last 3 games. The margin for error has been kind of you're in the game late into the fourth quarter, make 1 or 2 mistakes here or there by the team, and then it goes the other direction. How do you, view it as a team for the margin of error late in the season against these top-tier teams?
I mean, yeah, the margin of error is small. I think we know that. But I think just like I said, got to execute better late in the game.
Paolo, you mentioned just now you don't think you're playing your best basketball and need to get better. What are some of those things that you can see yourself improving upon here in the next 9 games heading to the playoffs?
Everywhere. I think, that's been – I think my consistency has been good all year. And, it's just I think I'm just not in the best mood. I got to, even if I am frustrated, I got to be able to control what I can control and just go out there and make shots and make plays and not turn the ball over. I had 7 turnovers. That's way too many. So I just got to do the things that I can do to be the best version of myself on the court.
So, Paolo, in the last few games, also, teams have been coming in and focusing on you and Franz and stopping you guys. They did pretty good job in first halves, but you guys come out in the third quarter, and then you just make your money the rest of the game. What is the difference between the first and third quarter, like for example today?
I think we just had some more opportunities in transition in the third quarter, but like I said, I think we got to start the games better, especially myself. I think Franz will say the same thing. The team counts on us, so we got to be able to play at a higher level to uplift everybody, because if I show up the way I'm supposed to, we win all these games.
Thanks, Pete. We'll see everyone tomorrow.